There are legends of people
who start a movie sans narration. Tales have been told about these legends. I could tell you about them, but that would ironically have me commit the sin of narration.
My son has felt the call of sin, but the good Lord calls upon us to be fishers of men who sin.
I feel like Ryan Coogler wrote, produced, and directed this $90 million movie just to patronize the channel.
I want you to swear to me and before this congregation to leave those sinning ways where they lie.
Yeah, sure, but could I get some first aid? You know, if you or God could be bothered about that?
Drop the guitar, Samuel.
Referring to it as a guitar and not using the proper term for this stage of his life, which is a Hendrix. The old cliche where we begin at a beginning that is really the end and will end at the same end that we saw in the beginning cliche. Rumor is that Christopher Nolan advised on some of the aspects of filming in IMAX, but was politely asked to leave after his tirade about shooting everything practical and how they should actually clone Michael B. Jordan.
You boys twins?
Okay, wait, hold on now, man. What are you getting at? You trying to say all twins look alike?
To play music for drunkards, philanderers who shirk their responsibilities to their family so they can sweat all over each other?
Whoa there, Jedediah. I thought your job was to dissuade Sammy from going to the juke tonight.
You keep dancing with the devil. One day it's gonna follow you home.
I see no issue with what is clearly a consensual situation.
Chicago ain't from Mississippi with tall buildings instead of plantation.
And Jepson's Malort. Biblical symbolism scares are inherently more sinful than traditional jump scares, making the situation more dangerous by throwing knives. Also, this knife was a strange choice, especially when you slow it down and see that he catches the knife outside the finger holes and halfway on the blade.
I'm thinking we just set up tonight. Open up next weekend. Nah, that. It's gotta be tonight. Grand opening, start this with a bang.
No reason beyond a bang and the story needing it to happen this way is given for this rushed grand opening. Eat shit, Costco.
See, we talking numbers now. And numbers always gotta be in conversation with each other.
I had heard that Common Core was confusing for older generations, but this is ridiculous.
Damn, what you do that for?
Robbing a notorious gangster and being incredulous about the results.
Every cool's got a button on it towards the top, and you want to keep a woman. You find it, lick that.
This movie did not exist when I was in college.
You used to beat y'all? Me mostly. He ain't mean it.
Being someone without meaning it would require Jackie Chan levels of comedy karate that I don't believe this movie is committed to.
Traveling, I don't know why the world I'm in.
Well, damn, Miles Canton hitting home runs with his singing and acting chops during his freshman outing on the big screen automatically makes him a double threat to the sin counter.
I got socks older than this here boy. What the hell you know about the blues?
Having socks older than a grown man says less about his blues ability and more about how well you take care of your socks.
Sounding like me, I can't ask for more than that.
Roll one unpluralized credit.
We gonna get funky like a Mississippi donkey, y'all.
Hey now, Stack, you're gonna have to go to West Virginia for that.
But then you stuck your tongue in my coos and f***ed me so hard.
Thing my college girlfriend said over the phone after messing up the call waiting makes it into the movie.
The hell are you doing back here, Mary?
I buried my mama yesterday, Stack.
Mary's mother's convenient death conveniently brought these two together and consequently will be responsible for both of them being killed. Thanks, Mom.
And a lynching right there in the railroad station.
We're 100 years on from all this history and still struggling to confront the fact that there are people whose lived experience of this period was horrific even without vampires. And it's concerning that I heard less about that aspect of the movie from the press than I did about the film's opening weekend box office. But hey, I guess that's what happens when you create a culture of capitalists that don't know how to grow the f*** up. Oops, I committed the sin of being angry instead of funny. Quick, find something about dicks.
You know they cut off his manhood.
Well, sometimes there is no humor to be had or sense to be added.
Rice, they was gonna take that money, going out to Little Rock.
But also, Slim's story doesn't actually answer Sammy's question about how he knew all the guys in that chain gang.
I'm gonna need you to show some respect.
Yeah, well, your wife, too.
Stack survives this,
Pop was here.
using the loss of a child as a shortcut and creating a character's emotional depth.
No misery is worth complaining about.
Really? You live in Mississippi without air conditioning.
Your money come with blood.
All money come with blood, baby.
The World Bank and the IMF when they're trying to sweet talk their way into bed with developing nations.
I ain't never saw no roots, no demons, no ghosts, no magic.
Foreshadowing via the appeal to ignorance fallacy. Whether it be a mojo bag, an amulet, or a pretzel necklace, the wearer must always break it to symbolize that we are in a movie. Not putting up an out to lunch sign before you guys get down and dirty. Jump scares.
Who's trying to kill you?
Choctaw. Sure wasn't just some fair-skinned Ain't no around here for miles.
Imagine being a vampire that just barely survived being burnt to a crisp and the first person you run into is Bert, the one man who was never taught the difference between racist and anthropologist. Distracting me with a whole other movie about the Choctaw hunting vampires that I absolutely need to see now.
We about to get it popping like fish grease, boy.
Reminding me that you have catfish for 100 people, and we only ever see maybe 1 or 2 people actually eating anything. This is a culinary sin of the highest order.
When they turn this place into a Jew?
We did it today.
Which I'm still calling bullshit on. We saw all the traveling and negotiations that had to be done, and we know they gave everyone 0 notice. So just in terms of having the time and manpower, the plausibility of all this working out is a bit of a stretch. And that was before I knew they needed to put up high voltage wires.
What are you?
I'm a human being.
Aha! That's exactly what a not human being would say.
Blues wasn't forced on us like that religion.
We brought this with us from home.
It's sacred.
And big.
Delroy Lindo being all Delroy Lindo and
Conjuring spirits from the past
Somebody take me.
and the future.
Okay, this one shot where we see the past, present, and future merging into the same place and time was a big, risky swing into the surreal. Love it or hate it, it's the kind of visual and sonic experience that pushes the medium forward, challenges the viewer, and makes movies worth watching. And on top of expressing the themes and symbols that the movie wants to drive home, it has warmed this sinner's heart.
You're beautiful. I just want to taste you.
Sammy thinks he can say this and then get all bent out of shape when the vampires make him the same offer. Pearline must have known she had an audience since she moaned his name right on cue.
So what's the projection? 2 months, and we out of first cash.
The first year of any business is usually the hardest, and I don't believe forecasting your success based on the very first night is how accounting works.
Sir. Well, no, we believe in equality.
In the same way a hot dog factory does.
Lord, didn't that jaybird laugh when I picked poor Robin clean?
Even vampires should know that cannibalism is only funny up to a point.
We forgot the trunk.
Name-dropping Chekhov's trunk.
What's wrong, Stack?
Well, after our last conversation, you were crestfallen with a single tear running down your cheek. I think the issue might be that we seem to have reconciled completely off-screen.
Let me go get this money for us. I know y'all need it.
Smoke said,
2 months, and we out of first cash.
this isn't a situation where you need to throw a rager to save the frat house, and letting in the 3 creepers for one night won't guarantee sustained income. But the movie needed an excuse to have Mary go talk to them, I guess.
Well, I ain't going to Mount Bayou.
It's confusing why Sammy is so opposed to this idea, as if it would keep him from being a musician. Smoke just said that Mount Bayou was black-owned and that it was a better place to build a life. He didn't say it was one of those footloose towns where you can't dance.
Look, I'm leaving that plantation just like y'all did.
What? He's not saying don't leave the plantation. In fact, he's telling you to get further away from it.
I'm sad as all, but I don't need no saving.
Yes. Yes, you do.
They're setting up this drooling thing as a tell for later in the movie, but this is too much drool too fast.
You can't steal this pussy for a night.
Cat burgling. Getting your ass beat to the beat has got to be embarrassing. Trading spit on top of sacks of flour. That's how you get ants. We've seen the way these vampires eat, yet that horrific bite didn't bleed through her dress even a little bit.
It's not what it looks like.
It's not? Well, what a relief.
I'll be back soon, Slim!
What exactly was the vampire's plan here? The ultimate goal is to get inside and turn all the other patrons, especially Sammy. And since Mary had gone out there to see if Remick and friends had enough money to make it worth the risk of letting them in, all she would have needed to do is go back in and tell Stack that they are loaded, and not so weird that they shouldn't be given a chance. Then Stack lets them in, and the Team Edward can be declared the victor. However, the easy win is thrown out because Mary got horny and hungry. Not saying I don't understand, just saying I don't understand.
Sammy, this is not your fault.
But he is the one who played so good that it summoned vampires, so it kind of is his fault.
Woman, this man showed me kindness, employed me, grabbed me out the field.
Smoke doesn't point out that it was actually Stack who picked up cornbread in the field.
How the hell you get up?
She already told you.
This ain't hate we dealing with, Smoke. Or worse.
And you already shot someone today who did the same exact thing.
What we been through. German trenches, Chicago gangways.
Whatever makes boarding a boat in Chicago so dangerous that it can be compared to trench warfare. Never clear why Stack busts through the door even though his brother was getting the key to let him out. If these vamps could just be chill for like 5 minutes, they would have won by now.
What's in the jar? Pickled garlic. These ain't haints. They vampires.
Annie went all in on a hunch and grabbed no weapons other than pickled garlic, even though there was no previous mention of vampires, and it works.
What stories you heard? How haints work.
Why are we still talking about haints after the vampire revelation?
Cursed to live here with all this hate. Can't even feel the warmth of a sunrise.
To be fair, this just sounds like someone who plays too much League of Legends.
They have a connection, but they live on, even if the one that made them is killed.
Annie's suspiciously certain about how vampires work after saying,
I only ever heard stories. I ain't never come across them myself.
and will go on to deliver a bunch of situationally specific exposition describing what they're up against. Seems sinful to fight vampires based on hearsay.
Said the devil was coming on account of my music.
So is the lesson here never be really, really good at something? We've seen Remick almost die by sunlight once already, yet he still thinks he has time for this. But also, I'm glad he takes time for this. It's a fun, chilling scene with more great music that expands our understanding of the character.
This is ridiculous. Just eat the damn garlic, girl.
No, being surrounded by a bunch of vampires doing an Irish jig is ridiculous. This is prudent, and your refusal is only generating cheap tension, like we're in a 1930s prequel to The Thing. Also, if I were in this situation, I'd already have a clove of garlic jammed in each one of my orifices. Only one of them would even have anything to do with vampires.
What's going on, Slim?
That's too much carrying on from garlic.
Oh, you talking about that? I know about cornbread. You just a little hungry, that's all.
It's kind of weird how terrible at subterfuge you become after changing into a vampire.
I just happened to show up at the right place at the right time.
A situation properly referred to as a plot convenience.
I can see his memories.
This hive mind feeds into the story thematically and allows Remick to threaten Grace with the assimilation of her daughter, but never crosses into functionally enhancing the threat that the vampires pose. Like, later on when they attack, it feels all disjointed and random, like they have each other's thoughts but are choosing to ignore them. There will be more on that later.
We're gonna start ourselves a new clan based on love.
When is this group going to realize that Joan is bad for recruitment?
Come on in, you motherfucker!
I get why she does it, and the movie makes it believable, but still, movies always gotta have that one person who does something stupid that gets everyone else killed. Despite having the numbers to overwhelm everyone left inside the club, the vampires just decide not to do that for some reason, opting for a strategy of attacking erratically and for the most part one-on-one. I guess Remick did say that he believed in fairness, but this seems counterproductive. Grace, who let all the vampires in, promptly burns to death so she doesn't have to deal with any of the fallout. Stake through the heart, not a shoulder blade. You had one job, Perline.
They feel his pain.
Annie has worse timing than my computer when it comes to updates. For some reason, Stack and Remick stop attacking to be concerned with their bullet wounds when earlier Mary hopped right up and ran away laughing. It's awfully nice that all attacks have been halted so these two could share this heartfelt moment.
No, let's go.
What? Why? Are you worried about the sun? Considering how much time these vampires waste after this, I don't understand why they don't just finish everyone off instead of just leaving.
Like what I told you.
Come on!
Go, Slim.
Slim makes it seem like he needs to make a sacrifice, even though he wasted time stopping for this exchange. Time which could have been used to try and get all the survivors out of here. Now Slim cuts his arm like they don't already want to eat him. Does he think they're like sharks? Wait, are they like sharks? How do we keep ending up with more vampire questions? And why aren't any of them flying?
Keep running. Make it to sunrise.
Which Sammy then interpreted as handicap yourself first by jumping from the second story without even attempting to arrest your fall.
I want your stories. And I want your songs.
Unfortunately, we don't live in a time when I can just buy your CD instead of eating you. Kind of crazy that the only thing that could keep vampirism at bay is the affordability and access to physical media storage. It would be a shame if society achieved that and then decided it would give it all up in the name of subscription services. Yep, real shame.
Our Father, which art in heaven.
Praying to your Deus for an ex machina.
Long ago, the man who stole my father's land forced these words upon us.
Villain monologues instead of just winning cliche.
Sorry I couldn't keep you safe. Don't be sorry. You always did.
You wouldn't have fangs if that were true.
We are earth and beast, thank God.
Damn, still monologuing. Sammy is getting cold and soggy. They all share thoughts, but still stayed out right until the break of dawn. Not a single one of them was thinking, hey, look at the time, or hey, look at the f***ing sky. Remick burns way harder and faster at sunrise than he did at sunset.
Now take these boys left.
Go into a juke joint in the middle of the day, expecting anyone to be there.
Door's locked.
Wait, they could have locked that door instead of letting Remick saunter in? Smoke makes no attempt at not getting shot, and it works because movie. I'm failing to see the competitive advantage to hiding your Tommy gun in a spot that requires you to expose yourself to retrieve it. Is it possible to condone the catharsis but not the gun violence? Discuss. Taking a bullet because you're too impatient to let a grenade do its job.
Drop the guitar, Samuel.
Nothing that has happened over the last 24 hours has made it any less weird that you are not referring to this now as a hindrance. I'd have a crisis of faith too if I found out vampires exist and that God limited my superpower to bardic inspiration all in the same night. I will now refer to this movie as the canonical origin story of Buddy Guy.
They live on, even if the one that made them is killed.
The movie wasn't so long or complicated that we needed this narration to be reminded of things that were said many times through flashbacks.
Maybe once a week, I wake up paralyzed, reliving that night.
Once a week, honestly, seems like a low number after seeing pretty much everyone you know get turned into monsters and then vaporized.
Damn, that is one odious aroma. Oh, God.
1 Corinthians 10:13.
A Bible. Pop, you stole a Bible.
Son,
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
We've been trying to contact you regarding your car's extended warranty for quite some time now.
We just came here to play. Spend some money, have a good time. Here, I'll show you.
Hey, if you want beef, then bring the ruckus. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to with. Straight from the motherfucking slums is busted. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to with.
It's not what it looks like.
I tripped over an uneven sidewalk.
Get that cone out of my face!
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Somebody stop me! Behold the power of flight!